Hello, I am Mantastic and Fantastic, and today I'm going to be talking about the three brand new 7-star Godfest exclusives which will be coming to North America starting on Thursday, April 16th. These three cards will be debuting in a lucrative Super Godfest, which I will have some sort of follow-up article video for in the future, but I want to take a moment to talk about each of these three new cards individually because we will be given a spring forward medal which can be utilized through the Monster Exchange system to redeem for one of these three cards. Now, this is becoming somewhat the norm with some of the newer 7-star Godfest exclusives. We get a free redemption medal, and obviously you want to try and redeem for something that has value. Now, at this point in time, none of these three cards have a weapon assist evolution, and that will most likely change sometime in the relatively near future because all other 7-star Godfest exclusives have a weapon assist, and it's not a far stretch to assume that these will. So unless you have an immediate use for them right now, I would hold off on utilizing your spring forward medal because you don't have all the information yet. What if the weapon assist for the card you did not exchange for is something you truly needed? Well, you're going to be out of luck. So with that in mind, for myself, I plan to actually wait. But regardless of all that, I want to at least go through all the cards individually to give you a better idea as to what you can expect from them. So the first new 7-star card is Jiraiya. And this individual here with their base form is truly special. They have 6 different transformational forms they can assume. So this is important because they only have a 10-turn active skill cooldown in their original form, and then they'll start this unusual transformational process. But when they transform, they're actually going to be putting on disguises. They're going to be kind of dressing up as other pad characters. And they will still retain the exact same stat distribution, the exact same awakenings, the same leader skill. The only thing that's going to change is going to be their active skill. And this active skill will be on a 3-turn cooldown. So I'm just going to go through all the different disguises they can possibly wear. So in their original form, they will create 10 turns of Wood Skyfalls, which is obviously helpful. And then they will transform to Roach. And then from there, it's her active skill, but it's on a 3-turn cooldown. All of these disguises are a 3-turn cooldown. So you're getting a higher value active skill for a much faster cooldown. So you get an Orb Changer that removes hazards into wood and dark orbs. You also remove fire and water orbs at the same time. And then you go to Rex's disguise, which is 10 turns of bonus 2 seconds or movement time. Freya is Freya's active skill of RCV and attack bonus for wood and dark cards. Then Sonia Fio is her board changer of wood and dark orbs, again on a 3-turn cooldown, which is very fast. Odin's disguise will give you the unable to match orb effects by 99 turns, full bind and awoken bind clear, and then it changes to Zila's disguise. And Zila's disguise is her active skill of hearts and wood orbs with +2 combo count. And then after utilizing Zila's disguise as active, it goes back to the original base form. So you're going to be going through this kind of unusual cycle. And when you think about it, you've got so many different mechanics built in here. You have 7 unique active skills, and each one providing some different form of benefit. And in theory, you can cover many different metrics with this. The problem is you're forced to go through this very specific order. You can't just jump from Rex to Odin if you need that Awoken Bind Clear. You have to go through Freya and Sonia Fio, which means another 3 turns, 3 turns, 3 turns, 9 turns of waiting to get to that Awoken Bind Clear. It can be difficult to line up what you actually want. At least their awakenings do not change, but your active skill may not be always the one you want to have at the time when it's truly needed. And this can feel a little gimmicky, and it may not be the most amazing thing for some players because you may not have a good wood box either, because this is obviously hinging on having a strong wood box. If you were to utilize them as a leader, they have 4 times health with dual leaders, and they need to match 2 wood combos for their full multiplier. Matching 3 wood combos means you have auto follow-up attack damage. So that's going to be very difficult on 6x5 boards. If you could utilize 7x6, it definitely does alleviate some of this orb hungriness, because when you think about it, if you need to match a VDP and have follow-up attack damage, you're kind of like Alice. Alice doesn't really function well without her bigger board, and Jira needs to have some way to pair. And I feel like at this point in time, we don't have that many desirable 7x6 options for wood. if that is unappealing, their evolved form is actually less exciting. They have a super jammer resist, which is just kind of meh. They also, like, it's useful, but they have 4 attack while above 80% awakenings, and these awakenings are unfortunately not the best. It only provides 5.06 times personal damage when above 80% health, and that's a very small window of opportunity, and it's still weaker than 777 combo, which takes 1 less awakening slot. It's not providing that much overall, so I'm a little disappointed in that regards there. For their active skill, they change water to wood and then light to fire, and then lock all wood orbs, and then for 10 turns, wood orbs appear locked. I guess it's a way to kind of preserve your preserve your key orb, but nothing that special. As a leader, they have no bonus health, no bonus recovery, 324 times attack when matching fire and wood orbs, along with 7 or more combos. That's reasonably easy to achieve, but you receive damage reduction of 75% with dual leaders if you have 2 or more wood combos. 3 or more wood combos gives you auto fall of attack damage. And the problem of this is you're not always going to have 6 wood orbs present. And if you don't have 6 wood orbs present, you have no damage reduction. You still deal damage, but you have no damage reduction. A preemptive will probably kill you. You can't stall as easily either. It's just an awkward thing to work around. Like, these high damage reduction cards with no regular HP multipliers are so vulnerable, especially if they can't trigger them all the time, and that's going to be the case here. And again, their offensive awakenings are unreliable. Like, it's a relatively small window for success, and even then, it's not an exceptionally high multiplier. In regards to their orb skin, I guess it looks nice. It's all of the ninjas, so if that's something that's appealing to you, maybe that's cool. Next is Grandis. So Grandis' base form is just a single transformational step, but it's a 30-turn cooldown. But if you think about it, if it's a 30-turn cooldown, it means it's got to be very strong after you transform, and that's actually the case. But amusingly enough, in their original base form, they still retain strong awakenings. They have sizable weighted stats. Their weighted stats don't actually change. The only thing that changes after they transform is their awakenings are upgraded. Skill boosts are no longer helpful. You get more time extend, and you get an extra VDP. But their active skill becomes greatly upgraded to this beautiful 3-turn cooldown of +1 combo count, 3 times attack for fire for 1 turn, and then change the bottom row to fire orbs. It's doing so much on a 3-turn cooldown. It's borderline ridiculous how much value is built into this active skill. Obviously, the problem is you need 30 turns to transform, which is not really viable in most dungeons unless you're playing something like Arena or Coliseum, where there'll actually be enough time to transform and then be able to make use of this powerful active skill multiple times, because you're kind of carrying a dead active until that point in time, so to speak. So, where can we utilize this card? Well, any mono fire team will definitely benefit from this Grandis, especially when you're playing through content like Arena. They have strong personal damage through VDP and 7 combos when they transform, bonus time extent, and a sweet, sweet active skill. But I want to mention that due to their physical typing, they are a potent Grigori sub, because they can now be utilized to kill void spawns without utilizing Grigori's active skill. So Grigori's active skill allows you to void damage void, which means you can just combo normally. But the problem is you may run out of Grigori actives if you're playing through a dungeon with multiple voids. So having a card that can kill voids without his active skill can be meaningful. But if you're truly looking for that type of solution, their evolve form may be a stronger bet. But before I jump to their evolved form, I want to highlight that their leader skill is incredibly beginner friendly. And if you're a completely brand new player, you have like basically nothing in your monster box, and months from now it's not going to be like super developed most likely because you're still new, Grandis might be a reasonable leader, at least to start the game. You have 4 times health, 144 times attack with bonus movement time, and all you do is match some combos. It's super easy to use, not difficult. I feel like it's maybe just something worth mentioning. It's probably not applicable for every player or that many players, but it might be something of use. In regards to their evolved form, they are just a true traditional sub. They have super awakenings, they have 3 skill boosts and triple VDP, and can gain a cloud resist super awakening. So that's quite a bit of value built into this one card. And again, they have the physical typing, which means Grigori can utilize them once again. And again, the main benefit is these 3 VDPs means they have meaningful amounts of damage on Grigori teams without utilizing their active skill, because Grigori only needs to match fire and wood, and then you deal 400 times damage. So With Grandis' active skill, you change light and dark to fire, so you flood the board with fire, so you have your VDP. You probably had at least 3 Wood Orbs beforehand, lock Fire Orbs, and then Fire Skyfall, so lock for 10 turns. Cool, cool, cool. But you then can match a VDP and a Wood combo and get 400 times multiplier plus all the VDP damage from Grandis. It can be a very clean solution to your VDP needs for Grigory teams. Like, let's say you encountered Hera Nyx. You don't really want to waste Grigory's active skill. You could just utilize Grandis and bam, 1 VDP, it's dead because she has like no health. It's a clean, safe solution possibly. So he can help Grigory transform with 3 skill boosts. He provides that monstrous VDP damage, but the obviously drawback is you only have personal damage of Grandis when matching VDP. On the bright side, Grigories, with all their TPAs, do comically high amounts of damage anyways, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal overall. And remember, with Cloud Resist, it's going to be freeing up extra inheritance slots. You might be able to juggle different inherits and bring other types of value to your team you may not have been able to access otherwise. In regards to their leader skill, they need to match 2 fire combos, and then they gain bonus damage from matching 6 or more connected fire orbs, along with auto follow-up attack damage when matching 6 or more connected fire orbs. This sounds nice, and you do have big damage reduction, but the problem is you need 9 fire orbs for your activation plus... It's really 9 fire orbs for activation, which is just difficult in all honesty. I guess you could match 2 fire combos, you get the damage reduction to survive, but you're not necessarily going to be killing much with a 9 times multiplier. It's not that high. So you could potentially alleviate these issues by utilizing Nekoruru. For a 7x6 board, it gives you a 2, 216, 1, 50% damage reduction team with auto follow-up attack with 7x6. It can solve some issues there. Basically, a similar activation requirement. She wants to blob 7 or more fire orbs. The bigger board can alleviate this orb hungriness, so it might be something that works, but I'm not sure if that will really pan out. I feel like it's more of a strong VDP solution sub. And their orb skin features all of the golems, which are traumatizing if you played when Pad first came out and you used to roll those from the Raric machine. And then last and kind of least in all honesty is Yuri. So base Yuri's base form has a super poison resist, which is cool, but water actually has quite a few different cards with super poison resist, so it's not that unique. You do provide some team RCV, you provide a follow-up attack, 2 skill boosts, maybe a bit more movement time, but the problem is you're not really doing much. You don't have personal damage, you don't have that much utility. Like, yes, you have 1 super poison resist, but that's kind of all you do. You can generate a column of water orbs, but that's just an orb changer. It's not solving other mechanics coming up. It's not like an Awoken Bind Clear. It's just not providing that much value overall, and I feel like she's just not really cutting it. It doesn't feel like a 7-star Godfest exclusive. She just feels weak at this point in time. But with her Evolve form, it provides her much more flexibility, I feel, because she now will have a 2-turn cooldown, which is obviously great for inheritance, and the active skill itself is not bad. You create 2 heal orbs from non-water orbs, and then you lock heal orbs when they fall down. This can help guarantee your hard orbs are always available when facing dangerous spawns. It could be a weird way to stall, possibly, but with a 2-turn cooldown, usually act as inheritance bases to inherit something truly delicious. So one thing to bear in mind is Yuri will be eclipsed by Dina and Lutina, who are 1-turn cooldown water cards that provide much more value overall. So if you have either Dina or Lutina, Yuri is not going to be as valuable to you overall. You want to use Dina or Lutina basically in every time. Another thing to keep in mind of Yuri is she can be utilized as a possible rainbow sub solution because she can cover 2 awkward colors. Water and wood might be difficult to cover depending on the subs you have available, but this active skill, at least from my experience playing with rainbow teams, is when you create a board and you need to follow-up attack because you don't have auto follow-up attack damage, let's say, you will oftentimes not have enough hard orbs. Utilizing this active will basically guarantee your Dark Tally style board changer gives you 3, minimum 3 plus the 2, which is 5, which is follow-up attack, which means you can pass the floor. Could be a weird way to work it around it. But overall, Yuri, like, I feel it's nice, but I feel like it's not that strong overall, especially considering there are at least 2 other much better alternatives available. And then this is their orb skin, and I guess it looks kind of nice. So, in conclusion, what do I plan to do at this point in time? If I had to pick one right now and I couldn't save my Spring Forward Event Medal, I would pick Gradis because I do have a Grigory team which can benefit from a strong sub. But I'm in no rush to do so. There will be weapon assist for these cards in the future, and with weapon assist, they might dramatically change the value. Like right now, I feel like Yuri is quite weak, but if Yuri got a stellar weapon assist, well, we want to trade for her now because it's going to help us out moving forward. But again, this hasn't been released, and in all honesty, waiting shouldn't be that hard. Furthermore, if you plan on rolling their Super Godfest debut event, which happens tomorrow, you might end up rolling them anyways, and generally speaking, getting the first of any card is more valuable than duplicates, generally speaking. So, in conclusion, starting tomorrow during a special Super Godfest as well, we will be receiving this Spring Forward event medal, which will allow us to monster exchange for one of these 3 new 7-star Godfest exclusives. None of these cards have weapon assists, so in all honesty, you are best off just simply waiting for those weapon assists to at least be revealed to then make a fully informed decision as to which card you want to monster exchange for. Regardless of all that, let me know what you think about these cards in the comments below and whether or not you plan on exchanging now or waiting for the future. Either way, hopefully all the Mantastic day. I wish you all the best luck in your own pad adventures, and happy puzzling.